All right. Thank you for tuning in. Happy Sunday. At least it is Sunday over here. Just finished Church of Union Sunday service. It was very inspiring. Adam and Brienne talking about making your whole life a worship to God. And it's just perfect because God is the source of all happiness, truly. And we're living in a time when we're not called, it's not, generally, we're not called to, you know, leave society, meditate on a hill. Like, it's about making your life a prayer, every bit of your life. And it's just realizing that God is actually the source of satisfaction in life. And that when you love whatever God has put in front of you, that is how you expand joy in your life. So the good news is wherever you are, you're with God. And whatever your life looks like, that's your opportunity to love God. If you're struggling in your finances, that's just God's invitation to bring love there. Just bring God's love there, however you're called. If you're struggling in your relationships, whether friendship, romantic, work, whatever it is, bring love there. Bring more God there. Like Adam and Brand said, those um, opportunities, those difficulties, challenges, that's actually your opportunity to find greater happiness and peace. Those are the moments. But the key is you just have to dig deep and say, God, what is love calling for here? And it's, like I've said before, it's not about judging. Like, well, I've given so much love here and things aren't changing. Look, actually, God's in charge of your journey. If you're choosing something like I'm choosing healthier relationships, I'm choosing success, I'm choosing financial abundance, it's yours. If you don't give up, is the key. It's yours, whatever you choose. Like they said, a spoiler alert that Jeff and Shay gave is that anything you choose will be yours if you just keep choosing it and never give up because God partners with you in your choice. But it's about those challenges, right, that come up that make us want to think, "Ah, my choice isn't powerful. It's not working." Well, that's exactly where God's inviting you to bring more love. So I figured we'd go deeper with the message. I will do a link to this service so you can see it for yourself in the bottom. But this is a fun deck. I thought I would pull some cards from the Shaman's Dream, just kind of take us further in this. I love this saying on the inside. It says, "We are all sacred dreamers, dreaming the world into being." Oh, there we go. And that's the truth. Um, Jeff just came out with a video about how, honestly, like I said before, we're living in a matrix, which means this is the world as we've created it, and it's actually not necessarily based on God's principles. It's just the world we created. But heaven is coming to earth. And when you invite God into the ordinary, everyday moments of your life, that is when you start dreaming heaven into this earth, which is the true reality. So let's go deeper with that, right? First card is Horseman, Herald of Change. And so I feel this. So we are living in a time of change, and you can't avoid change. And that change is going to mean you're going to have upsetting things, challenging things, things you don't think you want happening in your reality. That is the time we're living in. It's a time of accelerated growth. And Jeff and Sid teach change is always divine, change is always of God. Embrace it. Have compassion with yourself. You know, the really, I've been experiencing, big challenges at work and just in my personal life. They're big. They're not small. And they do kind of trigger this like, oh my God, like, can I handle this? Yes. I'm going to bring God there. I'm going to bring God's love here. And that's why they call it the inner work. You start with yourself. As you're going through change, you find those places within yourself that are really hurt or struggling or just resisting the change and just invite God there. Okay, this is my next growth step. God, fill me with love in this place. I choose to flow with you. I choose to allow the river of your life to flow through me, heal this place inside of me so I can stay in your peace. That's the key. As life changes, your job is peace. That's where God is. So whatever you can do to deepen your peace, strengthen your peace, um, and you know that peace is what enables you to be a bright shining light in the world. So always put your peace first and nourish yourself in this time of change. And remember, the change is good. It's here to help you, but you just have to make sure you take care of yourself at this time. So beautiful. And I just love what a, that's obviously a very positive image. This beautiful, triumphant horse. Feel this energy coming through, even if the changes are very challenging. Feel that God has a triumph for you. Just keep going and keep loving yourself. Next one, fortune's wheel, luck and right timing. I think that's beautiful. So, for me, I'm honestly, I'm experiencing financial challenges, work challenges. They're pretty big for me, but that's what I signed up for. I knew that I called in massive wealth. And when you call in something big, you're going to call in big challenges. And this is just saying you're at the right place at the right time. And I often find that because I've done a lot of different jobs, God has asked me to make these big leaps over and over again. And it's always because it's the perfect time to do so. So this change, whatever change you're already in or whatever change you're being called into, it's for a reason. Fear is going to try to tell you, oh, everything's just going to go downhill if you try to go down that road. No. If the voice of God in love and peace is directing you in a direction, it's because there is good fortune and right timing there. There always is where God calls. And I just feel like this kind of medicine wheel is just abundant in all ways. I feel this balance and spiritual um, holiness in this, like just a wholeness. This is the God always blesses you when you do His will. The path of good fortune is God's path. So be tuning into Him, and whatever He's calling you to, have faith. There is good fortune waiting you there. Good stuff. I'm really liking this. Oh, apparently abundance is a big issue here, and God is assuring you overflow, overwhelm, and plenty. So this is interesting. This word overwhelm and plenty. When you ask, like this goes with what I just said, you ask for big things, you're going to get for big challenges, and it can seem overwhelming. It can seem like, why didn't I just stay safe? For me, my last job technically would have been safer, but once you're busting out of something and you don't energetically align with it, it's actually not safe. It's only safe in truth to be where God asks you. And it can change, all this change that's just talking about can feel overwhelming. Oh my gosh, what did I sign up for? Just keep loving yourself. God has plenty. Like there's a real emphasis on overflow. This time of change is about you breaking through to the next level of abundance. And it's whatever abundance you're calling in. If you're calling in community and friendships, money, your romantic partner, your twin flame, your life purpose, whatever it is, claim it now. I promise you, God wants to bless clearly. Of course, God always wants to bless those endeavors, but like energy is amplifying to bless divine intentions. So, whatever it is, I invite you to tune into God, and tune into your own heart, what it is that you're really wanting right now. What it might be, what you feel is really lacking. It might even be, I just want peace. My life is, whatever it is, that is beautiful. If you're asking for peace, you're asking for God. If you're asking for abundance, you're asking for God. If you're asking for love in your relationships, God. So like the sermon said, it starts with God. It starts with, making that prayer to God. And I invite you to, do that after this video. Center into what it is that you're wanting and make a heartfelt prayer. I'm going to about and partner with God and say, God, I know that you have placed this in my heart because I feel the beauty of it. I feel the joy and the lightness. I feel your divinity in this. Bless this. Bless this desire. Thank you so much for watching. This was a pleasure for me, and I just bless you in whatever change, whatever prayer, whatever blessing you're calling forth in your life. It is yours. Walk into it and claim it. I love you so much. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.